welcome to Canuck of the Dead. I have been anxious for this particular episode because we're going to talk to two people who put the magic into horror movies. You cannot have a horror movie without the effects. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Carlos and Ryan from the Butcher Shop. Guys, how are you doing?
Hello, good.
Hi, everyone. How you doing?
What's up?
I'm going to jump right out of the gate because I know why I would be where you are. How did you guys get started?
Go ahead, man. Yeah. I've known Ryan since school. Like we went to school together, and we would just go to conventions and stuff like that. And we're horror fans, obviously. Like we've been lifelong horror fans, and we just saw how Fan Expo they did tables back in the day, and we were kind of disappointed. So we got together along with another friend, Stephen Dolly, and we dressed up like butchers, and we just did it up a little bit, and we started to get recognized. And before we even knew it, we created a brand for ourselves, and people started to like welcome us and, hey, the butcher guys, hey, the butchers, hey, butcher boys, and like, yeah, without even knowing it, we kind of created a brand, and then we just kind of went with it, and we're the Butcher Shop Effects Studio.
Yeah, a little more context with that is we were selling a lot of severed body parts and like skin faces and horror masks as well at the convention. So it kind of fit with the whole butcher theme, right?
Oh, that's perfect.
We were just trying to have fun. That's all it was.
Oh, no, it makes sense. I still remember the first time I heard of you guys. I thought the guy was talking about a butcher shop because it was Mikey McMurrin. He goes, yeah, Secret Santa, I got all my effects from the butcher shop. It's like, ooh, they sell blood? I didn't realize,
Oh, we get that all the time. Like we get calls for, oh, yeah, I need a pound of, lamb or something. And it's like, it's okay. Like there's positives and negatives, I guess.
Yeah, no, and absolutely the brand sticks because like ever since that first mistake, I've never made that mistake again. And now people hear about it all over the place. So
right.
What got you into effects? Like what made you want to make severed body parts?
And with me, I was a babysitter who let me watch Poltergeist about when I was like 4 years old. So I think that really got me into horror at a young age. And then my parents, they liked to party and stuff, and they put me in front of movies all the time, and I ran Ghostbusters every weekend for years of my life as my childhood, and just all the classics: Aliens, Ghostbusters, Predator, Poltergeist, Gremlins, yeah, all that stuff.
And with me, it was probably about 6 years old when Thriller came out, and I used to be scared of Thriller, and I'd like hide behind the couch and all that, and then I watched Creep Show when I was a kid. I was probably 6 years, around the same time, 1983, I'm guessing. And I watched Creep Show, and that was it for me, man. I started reading Fangoria magazine and finding anything I could on it, and my wall was just like melting people and werewolves, and that was it. Like, just, yeah, that's it.
Do you guys remember the very first thing you ever made?
Yeah, I don't know.
I did a lot of drawing when I was a child. I actually have a little booklet when I was really young of just like scribbles of monsters and stuff. I always geared towards drawing monsters.
I do the same thing.
Yeah,
I do the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the very first thing I ever did for effects was I made a squib, but I made it out of, you remember those pop guns? You'd put the little red circle in the back and it would fire.
Yeah.
We cut little pieces of those off, put wires into it, and then fired it off with a battery. But we realized you have them too close to the skin. That's real gunpowder, and that was bad. So that was the last thing I made.
Did you actually hurt anybody?
We burned one person. And it was only ever done once. So
yeah, it sounds dangerous.
yeah, that's why I leave it to the pros at the
butcher shop. Oh, sorry.
The first big film that you guys got into?
Oh, you mean like as a fan, or like just working on?
Just starting to work on, because I imagine you started in shorts, just like most indies do, But
we were fortunate where we went to the same school when we graduated. A week later, I brought my business card to the administration of the school. And then a couple of days later, someone walked in that school and said, give me your top artists that graduated recently. And my business card was just sitting there. So they passed it off. And we did a film with a buddy of ours named Chris Harrison called Y Girls. We took on all the effects, and we did all the straight makeup at the time as well.
Yeah. They ended up being Nyctophobia films later on with Devil's Night, originally titled Left 4 Dead. They ended up doing that, which ended up coming out, and Daniel Harris was in it, so people know about that film. Y Girls, sadly, no one really. I don't even know if it came out.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So, but that was the start of Left 4 Dead, which became Devil's Night, and then Night of the Living Dead Live, with Chris and Phil. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
What is it different to do a live stage performance as opposed to creating effects for film?
It's extreme. It's completely different things. Completely different things. Because with film, you have takes, and if it doesn't go, it doesn't happen the way they wanted it to go. You can try again, right? With theater, you got one try. Setup is next to nothing because it has to be guaranteed to work. So they simplify it to the point where it can't fail, if that makes sense. Where with film, you get to try things out, right?
Yeah, for example, like we did Evil Dead the musical, and we designed the masks with a friend of ours, Tara Murphy, as well. We had to design the masks so they were slip on and off masks, essentially. Where if we were doing that for a movie, we'd glue the rubber to the skin so it would move to the face nicely and everything.
Okay, yeah,
we had to do it in a way where they could just 1 minute they're normal humans, the next minute they're deadites when they just turn around, right?
Yeah, that's where you get they drop their head, put it on, boom, all of a sudden they're like, you know what I mean? Like 1 second and they become a demon, right? Like with film, you got like 2-3 hours to apply an amazing makeup. With, theater, we have, a second, 2 seconds.
Yeah, there, now go.
Yeah, so very, very different things.
When people approach you for these kind of things, like how early in the scripting and pre-production should people approach you?
It's different every movie. Like you're lucky to almost get 2 months prep the way it is now. Like back in the day when like Rob Bottin, a big effects guy from the 80s, was doing like the thing, he would have like, I think he had like a year and 2 months to do everything. Like, yeah, like a big movie for us, we probably get like 2 months prep if we're lucky. Where a lot of the movies we probably get like 4 or 5 weeks. Like we're working on one right now, and it's a creature film, and what do we have? 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, to sculpt, mold, cast, run everything.
Yeah, it's fast. It's fast, which kind of sucks because you don't get the time to really work and finesse things, right? But
it also gives us like we get innovative with things, right? We make it work different ways than we would doing it the proper way.
Yeah,
so you become a professional problem solver, trying to figure things out on the spot.
Yeah, no doubt. Is there a point where it's like, I'm sorry, there's not enough time? Because to me, 3 weeks, I don't think that's enough time.
No, sometimes it depends on the movie, right? Like sometimes if it's a heavy effects based movie, they know that we're a little bit of a priority for that, right? Like say it's a werewolf film, you need a werewolf, so that becomes a priority. They'll give us a little bit of time. We're working on a movie right now. I don't know if we can say the title, but we started off with 3 months, and then budgets got lower, and they moved a lot of it to CG, and now we're doing like the minimal casualty effects where, talking about budgets and things like that, our time kept getting smaller, and the dates to shoot stayed, so we just lost all that time.
Oh,
yeah, so it's a shame sometimes, but at the same time, it's a lot of these movies are just about money, right? They want to preserve money and find a way to save it.
Yeah, but trust me, I'm in this school just like you guys. Like you watched both the things, and the Rob Bottin stuff still now outweighs the remake.
Yeah,
the prequel.
No comparison.
Exactly.
With that said, too, we have an amazing team working behind us as well, right? So, for example, we have a few people on set right now for us while me and Carlos are back in the shop just trying to finishing up a few gags or whatever for the film.
Yeah, it's not just two of us. Like we have a team of people. There's right now we have a few dailies that we call on whenever we need some sculpting, some painting, mold making. The majority of the stuff we do and we supervise and design and stuff, but we do have a crew. It's not just us. So we thank all you guys. We thank everyone that helps us out. We really do. Thank you.
Yeah, I've seen some of the people on your crew, and they're amazing too.
Yeah.
You guys are very talented. Is there something that you haven't done that you've always wanted to try?
I want to make a Gremlins sequel.
Oh, really?
I'm just kidding. No, I'd love to work on a Gremlins movie, but come on,
That would be kind of fun. No, I got to admit, yes.
I would personally like to do more creature suits. Me personally, I think that the creature suit genre of movies is just so rare today, and it's sad because they're so fun. What about you?
We've tried it, but I want to get more with the rod puppet stuff. More into like you get into green screen suit and operate the puppets more. We built it for a few films, but they prioritize the acting and stuff, and then our stuff always gets pushed at the end of the day, and then our stuff gets so rushed sometimes that we don't actually have they didn't set up like a full day where they should have just been shooting the puppet type thing, right? So we had a lot of things set up for that on a few films, and it just kind of got pushed to the end and then never really got shot properly, which I really wish we had more time to focus and make some really amazing like rod puppet stuff, because I started in this industry in puppets, right? So
Yeah.
I have to confess, I don't think I've ever seen puppet work by you guys. What films did you work on for that?
We've done a bunch. Like we just did a movie called it's in the festival circuit right now called Last Christmas. We built a bunch of puppets, elf puppets, and then we did Familiar.
Yeah.
What else?
Air had some rod puppet stuff in it as well.
Another one called Duke of Crows. Hasn't been released yet.
The one with the ape. The monster ape.
Oh, that's right. In Its Wake. That's another one. It hasn't come out yet. A lot of these haven't come out yet.
Okay. I was going to say, because I try and, follow you guys, but
thank you. Like we've done a bunch of stuff. It's just a lot of the stuff we can't really show until it comes out, right?
Well, yeah, that's true. And then, like you said, if a film never comes out, then you're left wondering, when can I show it, or should I show it, or...
Yeah, there's a few of those, but luckily, a lot of the stuff has come out.
There's a kids show, Oh Yuck, and there was the one with the slug puppet we built recently too.
Yeah, there's a bunch of rod puppet stuff. Do you follow our YouTube channel at all, or?
I will.
Yeah,
the YouTube channel. I'm just getting into YouTube, and I.
Okay. If you or anybody else at home wants to really follow some of the stuff we do behind the scenes, go to our YouTube channel. Just type in the Butcher Shop Effects Studio. We got about 50 videos up so far, but there are a few rod puppet videos up there.
Oh, excellent.
There's one that we did a alien replica for Cineplex, which is really fun.
That was the next thing I was going to ask you about.
And that's a rod puppet. How
were you approached about that? Because I still remember sitting in the theater. I had no idea you guys did this. And then all of a sudden I look up and there you guys are. And it's like, chest burster.
Yeah, that was, what was that? I don't remember now, actually. We used to do a lot of TIFF commercials for Midnight Madness back in the day. And I think that it was someone that contacted, his name was Rob Lazar. So it's a sweetheart of a guy. He's the best. And I think they contacted him because we did so many horror behind the scenes segments with him for TIFF. And TIFF, Cineplex, they're connected, right? So we got the call for that one. And I'm so happy we did, because it was, like Ryan was saying, we don't get to do the rod puppet thing a lot. And it was a really great, it reached millions of people.
Like, all across Canada.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I know they played it in front of Guardians of the Galaxy, Alien, I think a Fast and the Furious movie. Like, it's like big movies, man. Like,
yep. I know I saw it for Aliens and Guardians. Those two I know I saw it for.
Yeah. So it reached millions of people, which, oh God, it's a dream. Thank you. Like, anyone that, even gives us a second to hear out anything we say is a dream, like, it's fun.
Now, I with the stuff you've done, has there been anything really cool that you look at and you go, my gosh, if I never do another thing, that it'll be my calling card?
I love this director I worked with in the past. I've done 3 of his films now. Richard Powell. I'm still really enjoy what we did. He did a movie called. We started a student film, which was what was that called again?
Worm.
No. One with the cannibalism, self-cannibalism.
Oh, Consumption.
Yeah, there's Consumption, and then we did Familiar, we did Air, and we did Worm. And I love his work, man. He's just such a dark writer. Your mind really goes to places when you're watching the film. But we did some really cool stuff with that for his films. So.
Yeah, they're smaller movies, but his imagination is huge.
And when you're dealing with what you guys do, imagination is everything.
Yeah, if you watch them, they're fantastic films. And he didn't have a lot of money. It was just he put it up on the screen. And it's all creative stuff. Like, he got great actors, like Robert Nolan was in it. Bill Oberst Jr., everybody knows that guy. He's a Canadian talent.
Oh, nice.
Michael Davidson, he's one of Canada's best DOPs. And Yeah, just like they're fantastic stuff and minimal money, right? It's not about the money. Like
One thing I also cherished too throughout my career is I was very fortunate. I was working at another company at the time. When I started in this industry, I worked under a company called Grog's Puppet Studio, and I worked on a show called Nanoland, which is a little kids show, which was amazing. I'll always remember that.
yeah, you remember Nanoland? Do you remember that show? Or
I know. I don't. I'm not familiar with that title.
yeah, if you look up a photo of it, you'll know what it is.
Okay, it's one of those shows. Gotcha.
Yeah, you'll know right away.
Like Banana Splits. You see the picture, it's like, oh, I know that show. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, what am I with?
Would you love working on?
Oh, with me, I one thing that I'm really proud of. It wasn't through us, but I used to work in another company as well called Cup of Coffee Studios, and we did stop motion animation puppets, like Corpse Bride, things like that. And I got to work on a Rankin Bass Christmas special with Mickey Rooney as Santa Claus and Heat Miser, Cold Miser, and they brought back all the old guys that did the voices. And I just, as a kid, I loved Rankin Bass, and I still watch those movies every Christmas. And for me, it was a dream come true. So yeah, I look back on that fondly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Mickey Rooney as Santa, he came back as a dream.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Then I got to ask, with stop motion, how tedious is that? Because I look at behind the scenes stuff from like Empire and like that. It looks fun, but it takes a long time, doesn't it?
Oh, like all the animators, you're lucky to get 20 seconds in a day. Like it's insane. It's crazy. And like it's not just one puppet, right? Like there's like 50 puppets of each character. So it's, like the contracts that I had there, like I worked there for, oh God, I think it was like 6 years. And every contract I had there was for at least 8 months to a year, which is a long time for a show, right? It's a long time. And we would just build hundreds and hundreds of puppets all day long. Yeah, so.
Depends on their expression, depends on the clothes, okay, because it's not like you can do a quick wardrobe change on these guys.
Oh no, there's
multiple departments, and it's very similar to working in a factory. It's like an assembly line.
Yeah. Oh, you're just building puppets all day long. Yeah, it's crazy.
Now, with rod puppet work, is it similar to stop motion, or I'm just curious because it doesn't seem like it would be.
There are aspects that are similar when it comes to molding and casting and building armatures, but there's a lot of differences as well. So
there are similar materials being used, just in different ways. That's all.
Okay.
So it's like all of this stuff that we do, whether it's animatronics, creature suits, even just generic masks and puppets. There are 4 or 5 materials you use for pretty much all of them. Latex, gelatin, foam latex, silicone,
Prozade materials,
Prozade transfers. But like all these materials, it's like 4 or 5 materials, and you just keep using them just in different ways.
And this is just, stuff you pick up at 7-Eleven or something, right?
We're almost like chemists, right? Like you got to measure things out, and A and B equal parts, and you mix them together, and then it creates a chemical reaction. Which I don't want to get too technical with this stuff, but
no, I think I know what you mean. A buddy of mine did a mold of my teeth. He made me vampire teeth, and to do that, he put this powder in. He mixed a bit of water and put it in a thing and said, "Quick, hurry up!" and stuck it in my face because it hardens fast.
Was it pink?
It was.
Yeah, alginate.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, so that's like what dentists use to take a cast of your teeth.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
I picture it being similar to that, like when you're working with this latex and things like that. You only have so much time to actually get it how you want it before it actually cures.
Yeah, it depends on the materials, but something like alginate, you have about 3 to 5 minutes setting time.
Yeah.
So that's why they're quick.
Yeah, first time he got mad at me because I was asking questions, and by the time he got it in, I couldn't get my teeth in. So yeah.
Well, time is money, my friend. Get those things in.
Oh, big time. Yeah, because he was making up new words as he was mixing the second batch.
Yeah.
So has anyone ever come to you with a film idea, and you looked at it going, I don't know if we can do that?
It's not that we can't do it. It just comes down to budget and time.
And the right people.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's hard to explain too. Like some people just don't get it. So like they have to, especially with younger directors today, they haven't grown up with the 80s stuff, right? They haven't grown up with all the magazines and all the, if it's like a 20-year-old kid, like they haven't really grown up with that unless, a parent or someone showed it to them. So it's, they still want something like that. They just don't know how to execute it.
Okay, that's true. Because back in the day, Fangoria was our horror effects encyclopedia, basically.
Yeah, where today, everyone just goes, YouTube, how do you do it? And they're on YouTube and they think that's how you do it. It's like,
it's not
exactly like,
it's not that easy, because literally I was researching this and I typed in how to make sugar glass, like the glass panes and all that. I couldn't find anything that looked like glass by the time they were done, but yet you guys end up doing it and it looks good. So get away from YouTube, talk to these guys.
With that said, though, it's we've been studying this our whole career, and I'm still studying it all the time, and it's all practice and trial and error, and we still make mistakes to this day, right? It's just you just got to do it. It's an artistry, right? It's anything in arts. You got to practice, right?
Yeah, we've been doing this professionally for over 20 years now, but we're still newbies. You know what I mean? We're still constantly researching, testing on new products, and 20 years seems like a long time for people, but it really isn't. Like we still consider us, we're still learning. We'll start learning as we go around, and always trying to come up with new things, new ways of doing things,
and this business really strikes me as that trial and error kind of thing. It's like, okay, let's try this effect,
Yeah, it's you've got to fail to know. If you're not learning from your mistakes, you're not learning. So, if you watch a YouTube video and you're just, I know how to do this, you should really try it. If you succeed with it, that's great. If you fail with it, that's okay too. Try it again. You'll succeed the second time. If you don't get it the second time, then you got problems.
Exactly.
But you should at least try it, try it once, twice, 3 times, like.
With that said, too, even though stuff we've been doing for many, many years, there's still human error. Sometimes stuff still goes wrong, regardless how many times you've done it. It's just part of the craft, right?
We got a good track record, though.
Yes,
yeah, we're doing okay.
Well, I the way I was looking at it is, for the trial and error, I'm going to try and do this, and then I'll change how I do it to make it quicker and easier. And that's when you get to your stage stuff, where I can trim this down by doing it this way and save 15 minutes, and we can do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're constantly talking back and forth. How can we save you money? How can we get more? Like we just a few months ago did a film called Last the Night. It's a horror wrestling movie. I think you'll dig it. I saw Psycho Sid was on your show a few months ago. I saw that. Amazing. Yep. Yeah, you'd love this movie. You'd love this movie. It's but talking to Daniel, the director, it was always about, how can we shoot something a certain way to save money here and there, and like we ended up doing it for they had a pretty good budget, but we're talking back and forth. We saved them a whole bunch of money.
But that one was planned. They had storyboards all set up for us. They knew exactly what they're going for with that one.
Yeah, we really went back and forth with them, and only built the things they really needed. Only built things they were going to shoot certain ways. And
some really fun gore stuff. A lot of practical stuff in that one. A lot of stuff. It's gonna be a bloody good time.
Oh yeah, you guys will love it.
This was the one filmed in London, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and then this brings up a question too. Then, how far out do you guys go? Because if I'm not mistaken, you're based in Hamilton, right?
Yeah, we have crew in Hamilton and in Toronto. Ryan's in Toronto, and a few other people as well. But we'll with COVID now, it's a little bit different, right? But like at our shop, I had a guy a few weeks ago come by. He was from Nigeria. And he wanted us to go shoot a zombie movie in Nigeria, but the way COVID is right now, like
yeah,
sadly,
yeah.
but yeah, I shot a few things in LA. Where'd you go? LA too, or was it?
I've been to Miami, Florida. A few times.
Miami. See what I mean? So if they'll fly us, dude, please, we'll go anywhere.
No doubt.
No, it's fun, right? Like it's new. Like with the way I am, like the way I feel is every new person is a new contact. I'll never just stop and say, I've met everybody, I've talked to everyone, it's over. I don't believe that. I believe that there's always people out there. People are always wanting to do things. New people always come up. People that have retired always come back. There's always someone to talk to, someone that always wants to have fun, and someone that always wants to experiment. And life is too short, Everyone is out there. Everybody, like, there's people everywhere.
No, that's true. And
Yeah.
the same thing when I start networking here. You never know where the next big idea is going to come from, the next big picture, the next big effect. So you got to keep those doors open.
Boy, I'll talk to anybody. If anybody will listen, I'll talk to anyone. And if you guys want monsters, we're here. Let's rock.
Excellent. Thanks so much for sitting down with me. Everybody out there, stay tuned to the bonus material because I'm going to ask these guys about a certain little film that they may have been involved in. And we'll see what the future holds for Butcher Show.